Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. How are you this Monday? So, today I am reacting to a now deleted video that Foodie Beauty posted on her channel. This video is very short, it was less than 20 minutes long. Foodie posted it, and the video name was called Abuse and Charges. And it had to do with people thinking she's lying about the charges in the essay and her feelings about that. In the video, she was very snipey and snippy and just being rude. She posted the video and then she deleted it. Now, what's interesting is I was in the process of reacting to that video because of the subject matter. I thought at that time, for those who might have gone through that, who might be triggered by some of the things that Foodie might be saying in the video, because I didn't look all the way through it, it would be a good idea to start with the comments first. And that way, anyone who might be triggered by talk of deviant essay, if they wanted to just watch the comments first and then decide if they wanted to watch the video, they could make that decision. So I started with the comments, and by the time I got around to the video, when I was in the process of reacting to that part, it said video not available. So Foodie got rid of it. She posted this big long thing addressing it, but then she decided, you know what, I'm getting a lot of hate, so I might as well just get rid of it. But lucky for me, one of my good friends, EERIE Pepperoni, who has an amazing channel, EERIE Pepperoni, she posts very funny stuff about Foodie and Natter, and she is posting deep dive type videos on Foodie. For those of you that don't know about EERIE Pepperoni, I absolutely recommend you check out her channel for things that are funny, for deep dive videos on Chantal, because she has told me she's going to be doing a bunch of those. Those videos do take a while, though, because she is digging around for all kinds of stuff, putting everything together, making it very concise and very easy to follow. So EERIE Pepperoni captured this video before Foodie got rid of it. And I'm going to react to the copy that EERIE has. And I would like to give a special thank you to EERIE for capturing it, because if she hadn't captured it, I would have to look probably all over YouTube for it. So thank you so much, EERIE. For those who are interested in EERIE's channel, I will be leaving a link for EERIE's channel in the video in the description. So again, please do check it out. So let me just go ahead and share the screen, because before we get deep into the video, there's a couple of things that I'd like to show you. All right, so Foodie, everybody's been seeing half a picture when it comes to Foodie Beauty. And that's something I feel that Chantal put into play, because we all know that she's very good at diverting attention away from things that she doesn't want people to notice. So for the longest, Foodie has been painting this half picture of Natter's a grifter, he's a bad guy, he's an abusive guy, I'm the victim, I am just a big girl getting played by this guy, I'm a sucker, feel sorry for me. Y'all, listen, let's keep it real. Natter does get money from Chantal. Yes, that's true. And she buys his groceries and she pays his rent. But that money and those things that he gets from Foodie are willingly given. He doesn't take the money out of her purse. He doesn't steal it from her. She gives it up willingly. Willingly. That might be for two reasons. One, because she is head over heels in love with this dude, and she's just in a place emotionally where she's attached. But it could also be because, in a real sense, he is an employee of the Foodie Beauty show. He is one of the main cast characters, and she needs something to talk about. She needs something to talk about in her live streams. So she talks about Natter, not just for the benefit of her own channel, but also to get people to look at his channel, and maybe he can make a little bit of money, or she can make a little bit of money. I'm not quite sure if his channel is connected to her Google AdSense account, but even if it isn't, there is some financial benefit to the both of them by him having a channel and her having a channel. So she's been painting this picture that Natter's the bad guy, he's the grifter, and I'm so in love and I can't help myself. But let's be clear, they're both grifters. He gets money from her, and she gets money from the thousands of people that she talks on her YouTube channel. He gets money from her, but in order for that to happen, she has to go on her channel and grift as many people as possible and as many ways as possible. And how does she do that? She has membership. She has membership set up. She puts everything behind a paywall. She counts heavily upon the super chats. She's got other platforms like Twitch and OnlyFans that are set up where people are paying their money. And she really isn't providing content on those platforms. You know, she did not wait to get the content first and then ask for money later. She did it in reverse. Let me get the money up front and then make all kinds of promises to where those of you that are paying, I'm going to promise, I'm going to promise, I'm going to promise you'll get something, but in the end, you'll get nothing. But I'll still be getting something. Also, she's got that ridiculous, stupid postcard club, which shouldn't even be up because she hasn't gone anywhere. She doesn't plan on going any place. She doesn't have a plane ticket any place. But in the meantime, those people paying for the postcard club are paying $10 a month for basically nothing. They're getting nothing in return but empty promises. That seems to be a constant in Foodie's life. The fact that she always tries to get money out of people and she'll promise to give you something in return, but you will get nothing except a bunch of lies and empty promises. Another thing that Foodie has been putting off to everybody is that Natter is the abusive one. He's the bad guy. He's done so many awful things to her. But I feel, watching both Natter and Foodie, there is a very real, strong possibility that if there is any abuse going on between them, that it's not just one way. I mean, we all know that Foodie is a vindictive person, and we've all seen the lengths that she will go to when she's angry. Does anybody think that she's just some weak little mouse that is not about that life of striking back? She certainly will. I mean, she was mad at Natter and she used the legal system to threaten and intimidate and bully him and to basically strike out at him because she was bitter and angry about Dee Dee being around. So if she will go to that extreme to hurt him, who's to say that she wouldn't hurt him in other ways too? I'm not taking up for Natter. He's a scumbag. I'm just saying, let's see the full picture here. I think we haven't just got one abusive person. We've got two. The abuse might be going on both ways. And I want to show you an example of why I think that. So let's go to Twitter. And whenever I use somebody else's stuff, I like to give full credit to that person. And I would like to give full credit to Habby on Twitter. She posted this clip, and I want to play this for context. So thank you, Habby, for showing this clip because it does paint a good picture of the darkness that might be lying in Foodie that, you know, she's trying to hide, and she's covering up that dark side by painting this picture of I'm the victim, he's the hurtful one. Honestly, Foodie, I think you're both hurtful people. But here's the clip, y'all. Let me just pull it all the way back so you guys can see for yourselves.
I know, Reagan. Thank you. I know, Reagan. Thank you.
Yeah, you saw that, didn't you? That whole, you know, like her gritting her teeth and clenched fist. Does that look like somebody who's weak and afraid of somebody? No, that looks like somebody that whoever that person is they're mad at, they want to fight them. So again, how do we know that if there was any abuse, that it just went one way? How do we know that she's not been abusive to him verbally or physically? We don't know. But based on what I'm seeing in this clip, just her clenching her fist like she's got a temper too. She's got a temper just like Natter. So how do we know that something physical hasn't happened between them and she was part of it? You know, just something to think about. So let's go on to her community post. Let's see. We're going to cover this real quick. Oh yeah, she's doing a panel with CJ and Onision, and that's just disgusting. I swear, she has drifted down to the bottom of YouTube. You know, she's found her crowd, I guess. She's drifted down to the bottom of YouTube. Good job, Foodie. She also talks about now to make up for grifting people in her community post when she didn't have to, and everybody getting mad at her. Now she's playing Miss Generous. So here's one of the community posts. She says, in addition to the postcards this month, I am also going to use some budget to give back. When I posted asking for help, it made me think that you guys are right. I've been very spoiled, and I would like to do something nice for my beezers in need. Add me on PayPal or email. Winners will be anonymous and will be surprised with a monetary gift and message from me. Foodie, you've got the postcard club. Listen, if you ain't going nowhere, if you're not traveling, if you don't have a ticket in hand to go anyplace, you should disable that postcard club for now. I mean, you've already gotten 30 to 40 bucks out of those people the last few months you've had it up and you haven't gone anywhere. And what, are you planning on just sending out postcards from Ottawa? That's not what they paid for. They paid for you to go to some exotic location, get postcards there, and then once you got home, mail them back. They don't want postcards from Lachine. They don't want postcards from Orleans. They don't want postcards from Ottawa or Montreal. They want them from, say, Cuba or some other place you go. It's a ripoff and a scam to sit there and ask people to pay for postcards. The premise of the postcard club was not, I'll send you a postcard from home. It was, I will send you a postcard when I travel. So you clickbaited everybody that way. You led them on into thinking that you were going to go travel and they would get as a souvenir for the travels. You haven't done that. The real honest thing to do would be to disable that until you do actually go someplace. But Foodie got called all the way out for begging for money through her community post. I heard that somebody sent her 400 bucks because of her begging, and she got busted going to Natter's house that same night and basically going out and partying with him. So she didn't need the money. She didn't need it. Even if she hadn't have gone to Natter's and gotten busted, she still didn't need it. The power was not out that long. She was perfectly fine at home, but everybody's ticked off at her for begging when she makes more money than everybody that comes to her channel. You know, like she's making all that money and yet she's scraping at the nickels and dimes that other people make. It's ridiculous. But here she is playing, you know, like generous Gretchen, saying, oh, you guys are right. I've been so spoiled. I'll do something for you now. This is not true generosity. A truly generous, good-hearted person would not wait until they've gotten in trouble with people for being dishonest to use that as a moment to be generous. This is more like a diversion to make everybody not be mad at her and leave her, and in retaliation leave her channel. She's using this supposed act of generosity to save face and to keep from losing more of her income. So let's get on to the actual video itself that she deleted. I haven't watched it all the way. I hope that there's nothing in here that triggers anybody, but I will say if you come to a part that starts to trigger you, either A, please stop watching. I don't want you to be emotionally or mentally affected, or B, just, you know, fast forward a little bit, try to get past that part. I will leave it up to you about how you want to handle it. So let's get to, and once again, thank you, EERIE Pepperoni, for making this video, for capturing it, because Foodie dirty deleted because she wasn't getting the reception that she wanted on it. The comments were brutal. Let's go.
Right, so I'm going to try to do this. I haven't really done this because I don't really know what to say, because I kind of want to keep this part private of my life now. So the transition from being so open and live all the time and talking about this subject forever has made it hard for me to just completely shut up about this. And I probably won't bother editing this video. I kind of just didn't feel like going live, but I wanted to I don't usually read my comments much anymore. I browse through some of them.
She's a big old liar, because when I was reacting to the video on her channel, she was posting replies to people in the comment section. And Foodie, I have seen you, madam. I've seen you on Twitter replying to people. I've seen you posting replies to people on your community post. I've seen you in other people's chat rooms, reactor chat rooms, just inserting yourself where you were not wanted. I really wish that you would learn to tell the truth about yourself. You've given us so many things over the years, so many lies, so many exaggerated stories. You told us all about your gono and your STDs and your infections and having C. diff and all your troubles with natter. But the one thing that you hold back that people want the most is the truth. For some reason, you avoid that like the plague. And that, madam, is what's making people angry. By coming on and lying the way that you do, people get mad because you're treating the audience, you're treating your viewers, your VIBs, the reactors, you're treating us all like we're idiots. And we're not idiots. Maybe you're playing some sort of sick, depraved game where you think that, oh, I'm lying to people and they're buying it. Nobody is buying what you're selling. We're not buying it for any price that you put on it. The lying is creating a lot of anger from people and getting everybody to a point where they just don't want to watch you anymore. Or if they do, they're going to the reaction channels because the reaction channels will tell the truth. We will give people the one thing that you selfishly hold back. And you're over there talking about privacy. You want privacy. No, ma'am. You want privacy when it suits you. You want privacy when it suits your agenda. When you're mad at Natter, you have said yourself that you talk about Natter on your channel because it's profitable, but you'll talk about Natter if you get mad at him. And that is your way of getting back at him for rejecting you, for not letting you come over, for being with Dee Dee when you don't want him to be. Your need of privacy is very selective. When you're talking to Natter, when you're around Natter, suddenly you're like, I don't want to talk about it. And if I don't talk about it, then it didn't happen. Well, guess what? There's evidence all over YouTube and the internet and Kiwi Farms of things you've said and things you did. And it's video proof. There's no possible way that that video proof is a lie because, you know, there you are on video saying those things coming out of your mouth. Just because you like to delude yourself into thinking that if you delete videos, that whatever you said, whatever you did, didn't happen. It did happen. You did say it, you did do it, and you don't like being called out on it.
Try to just read the nice ones if I can, but I also happen just right now to be reading some, and some were getting on my nerves. So mostly just these stupid accusations from the same people who over and over. But there are actual genuine confusion. There is genuine confusion. I'm very tired. I'm sorry. I'm like just going through a bit of insomnia right now. I'm trying to detox from edibles, which I rely on a high dose of to sleep at night. But so that's why I'm awake now. I'm also trying not to eat fast food. So
Hold on. Wait a minute. She posted this. Hold on. Y'all see this? She posted this 9 hours ago. So, how much will you all hate me if I get a nasty today? So, miss, I'm trying to stay away from fast food. It didn't take her any time at all to say, how much will you hate me if I get a nasty? She has said to people in her recent live stream that she's going to cut out the edibles, she's going to cut out the fast food. I don't believe that's possible. And I say that as someone that I used to be a binge eater, and Chantal is much more severe than I was when I was going through it. Her severe need of food is much greater than what I went through. And if you cultivated some nasty habits and some addictions like that, trying to go cold turkey is a bitch. And as severe as her problem is, the only way she'd be able to get away from fast food truly is if she was in an inpatient facility where she could be monitored and watched, and she absolutely could not get to that fast food. There's an old saying, you cannot heal in the same environment that you hurt in. Foodie has proven that she is someone that if you leave her alone to do what she wants, she will do reckless, destructive things to herself. If you leave her alone, you give her a bunch of money, that gives her all the freedom in the world to buy as many nashies as she wants, as much paneer as she wants. She has access to buying the edibles. So because you have all that access and all that freedom and all that money, how can you possibly quit? How can you quit? She said, I won't do the nasties and I won't do the edibles. But what she really means is to avoid the hate, she won't do them on camera. She won't do them in front of people. It doesn't mean that when the camera's cut off that she is abstaining from that. It just means she will not go on camera and do it where she knows she's going to get crap. So again, you can't trust Foodie on her word. She's a very weak person. She's got several addictions going on. She's got several issues going on. It would literally take a team of counselors, psychiatrists, doctors to help this woman. All of them working together to figure her out and figure out where to get started with the therapy and what it would take to get her straight again. And that it would only be possible if she fully admitted to all these addictions and all these problems. And she said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick of gaining weight and getting myself to a point where I could hardly move. She would have to have ironclad resolve to get through all those issues. Just having one addiction, getting over that is a daunting task. And she's got many. And on top of that, she's got the money from her VIBs and her channel. And as an addict, the worst thing is to have access to money and freedom to spend it when you've got all that stuff going on. So not being a negative Nancy over here, but I just don't see any kind of hope for her getting over her addictions and her problems as long as she's getting funded by YouTube and the people that go to her channel and they keep giving her money. Like the healthiest thing that could happen would be for her to lose her channel and to lose her money, because if she doesn't have money, she can't buy the fast food all the time. If she doesn't have money, she would not be able to buy the edibles. As awful as that sounds, she would have to lose her income in order to even have a chance of beating some of those addictions.
Anyways, I digress. That's why I'm the way I am right now. So I'm just kind of hiding away in my room, and I really don't know how to try to make this situation make sense to you guys, like with the whole mostly the legal charges and everything. I'm just really tired of like being accused of like things that are not like when people don't know the whole picture. So like just being accused of like lying about sexual assault and domestic.
I think you lied. I think you straight up lied. I do. Allow me to present my evidence of why I think you lied. Because, Foodie, I'm someone I've been through SA, severe SA, and severe DV. I've been through it for real. Mine wasn't fake. Okay? Mine was real. Yours is fake. I'm calling you out for being a phony. And I'm calling you out, madam, because I can't think of a single person that I've talked to that they've been through SA or DV, that they would get on YouTube night after night, live stream after live stream, and freely talk about that stuff the way that you did. You had absolutely no problem sharing details. And while I was watching you, I didn't see you getting visibly upset, just remembering the things that happened to you. Real DV and SA victims, when they're talking about their experiences, you can see a change come over them, like they're reliving it in their head, and even just reliving it in their head is traumatic. Just to think about those things again, it's so hurtful and affects them so much that a lot of them will sit there and shake and cry, and you could just tell they're getting upset, that they're just being shook to the core. I didn't see that with you. I didn't see it at all. Weeks and weeks of you talking about your DV and SA, getting everybody triggered, getting everybody upset. You opened up a lot of traumatic wounds in people, and you did it for the sake of profit. Also, another reason why I think you lied, for someone who has said that they've been through SA, and this is a big one for me, okay? For someone who's claimed to have been through SA, you, madam, coming on camera after those allegations, those charges, coming on camera on YouTube and freely just taking off your clothes in front of strangers. You know, how many times have we seen you take off your shirt and show off your bra on YouTube? Not only fans, YouTube, but you felt so free to sit there and be half naked in front of people, giggling about it. Again, I have yet to think of somebody that I've talked to that's been through SA, they would do that. You know, SA is very traumatic. And yet, after these alleged charges, you were on YouTube showing off your body, no problem. No problem. That looks weird to me. That looks inappropriate for someone who's been through SA. Coming on YouTube and sitting there half naked in front of people, almost naked, showing off your naughty bits to people after going through something like that. I would think that if you've been through certain kinds of trauma, you wouldn't be able to. But, you know, we're talking about you. You know, some of the things you've said and that some of the things you've done, it doesn't look like you've been through anything. It looks like you're making up stories about things that you've not been through, and you're doing it for the sake of profit. So I stand by what I said. I think you lied about SA and DV. I think you did it for the sake of triggering your audience into giving you money and feeling sympathetic and giving you attention. And you, madam, you're a monster for doing that. What you did is the equivalent of walking up to perfect strangers and scraping at their scars and making them bleed for the sake of dollar bills coming out. You don't care how you affect people. You don't care if you trigger people. All you care about is your check at the end of the month. You are heartless, soulless, thoughtless, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Domestic violence. And I guess now I'll insert a trigger warning if you are easily triggered by talking about subjects that involve abuse, sexual assault, things of that nature, then you might want to skip this video. So, yeah, so I don't know what to say. Like, I don't really know what to say. Like, I've already said pretty much all I really feel like saying about it.
Then shut up. Don't talk about it. You shouldn't have made this video. You're like, oh, if you're going to be triggered, then don't watch this video. How about not making the fucking video to start with? How about that? If you know you're about to talk about things that could trigger people, and if you're such a warm-hearted, good-hearted person, Chantal, you wouldn't have done this video talking about things that you know are going to hurt other freaking people. You want privacy, and yet you do videos like this where you start talking about things that should be kept private. And you're not even doing it in an educational way. There are some people that have got on YouTube that talked about their DV and their SA, but they did it in an educational way by sharing their story in a very sensitive, thoughtful way. They're doing it in a way that they don't want to trigger anybody. They just want to share their story to let other people that have been through that stuff know that they're not alone, that they are not alone in what they're going through, that other people understand, and they shouldn't be ashamed of what they've gone through, encouraging people to be strong and reach out for help if they needed the help, because there's always people out there that will help you, that they're not stuck in their situation. And I salute those people that have been brave enough to come forward and talk about it that way. What I don't support is you on your channel talking about it the way that you have for the sake of profit, not caring about those who've been through it. And all you want to do is trigger people to give you money.
Because I don't really want to like talk about it, because Nader and I talked about, like, we came to an agreement about how we're going to handle things publicly, and um, I don't think it's going that well, because we don't really like have the same opinion on stuff, like how we should handle stuff. Sometimes I'm very open, and he's very private. Um,
He's not private. He's not private. He's not a private person. I'm sorry. He calls himself a private person, and yet he has a YouTube channel showing Dee Dee. Private people don't have YouTube channels. They just don't. When he says he's a private person, Foodie, what he means is, I'm a hustler, I'm a grifter, and I'm not going to claim you, not now, not ever, because I'm busy working other people behind the scenes for their money. And once I claim you, well, then the game is over. I can't game anybody else. That's what he means. He's not a private person. He just doesn't want to claim you. He doesn't want to claim his target. So therefore, he can have other targets that he can get stuff out of, money, gifts, whatever. He's got to remain single, or the appearance of being single, just so he can game other people. He says, I'm a private person, yet he's out in the out with Dee Dee, right? He's living with her, he shows her on camera, but he won't show you. Yeah. So how private is he really?
People always ask me if I regret. I guess I'm just gonna be very open and honest, but people ask me if I regret ever talking about him in the first place. Um, Honestly, not really, because maybe for him it's a bad thing that I talked about him and outed a lot of our shit. But for me, I used my community for the past year as a means of support for.
What she means is she used her community to make money off of this supposed drama that happened. She just said a very key thing right there. I used my community. I used people. Remember what she said in Cuba, y'all never forget. She said, I'm going to manipulate the F out of you and you're going to eat it up. That was the real Chantal talking. That was the real one. No mask on, full strength, no chaser. That was the real one. She wasn't kidding when she said that. She didn't make that statement and then after that say, just kidding. She meant it. She meant every word of it. And here she is saying, I used my community. Let me expand on that further. She used her community then, and she's still using them. She still is. She uses people for money. She's got a YouTube channel. What she should do is make quality content and make money. That would be simple and easy. I mean, how hard is it to make a video and post it on your channel, or sit down and think about topics that are not triggering to talk about during your live streams? How hard is that? There are lots of people in the world that have harder jobs. They go to work every day, they put in the hours, and they come home exhausted. There are parents that take care of their children and they work. And here's Foodie complaining about, oh, life is so hard. Shut up, Foodie. You don't know hardship. Not at all. You got a good thing and you're effing it up by being lazy and by relying on triggering things to keep the money flowing. And people are at the point now where they're sick of it and they're starting to revolt. People are leaving your channel. They're going to the reaction channels because it's a lot more fun over there and they don't have to pay $5 to listen to you mumble and getting high and curse at them and call them names. You're pulling people our way by the way you're behaving, not because we're stealing your viewers or stream sniping you, you're driving traffic to us. If you want that traffic back, well, you got to put the work in, girl. We can't do it for you. There's only so much we can do. So maybe if you want things to be better on your channel, you need to shut the hell up with these triggering topics. Stop talking about deviant SA. You've done it repeatedly. You made a lot of money off those things. But girl, the well has run dry. Nobody believes you anymore. Nobody's giving you sympathy, and nobody's giving the big super chats. Maybe you haven't figured that part out. Newsflash, that shit ain't working. It's time to move it along.
For what I was going through, I just really needed an outlet. And I know people are like, therapy, therapy. And I'm just going to say, like, fuck all the way off with that shit from now on. Because here's the thing, there's not one size fits all when it comes to like treatment for people. I've tried therapy, I don't like it.
Yeah, she doesn't like it because she has to pay someone else to listen to her. And she doesn't have a large audience. It's just one person sitting in a room listening to her. They are not a VIB. They're not a fan of her. So they're going to tell her the truth. She doesn't want to hear the truth. She doesn't want to listen to somebody. She doesn't want to pay someone to listen to her. She wants other people to pay her so she can get on YouTube and ramble and trigger people. She wants the therapist to pay her. And there's not a single person in her audience that's a qualified, educated professional that could give qualified, educated advice. I mean, some of the people in her audience, maybe they do care for her, but the issues going on with Foodie are way over their head, way over. And let's be truthful, some of those people in her audience, they are not helpful. They are there to contribute to her harm. I've seen numerous people in her VIB chat. They know she's got a problem with food and they prompt her to eat. She's got a whole bunch of toxic feeders in her crowd. If she does edibles and she's high off of her rocker, they'll sit there and tell her, do more edibles. If she's eating, while she's eating, they suggest more food. Some of those people in her audience are there to contribute to her demise. You know, she's not a friend to any of them, and they're not a friend to her. But even the ones that are nice to Foodie that don't mean any harm, I'm telling you, her issues are way over everybody's head in her chat. It's a big tangled ball of mess that nobody in her audience could figure out or untangle. It would take a literal team of highly educated, learned professionals just to sort through even a small amount of what's going on with Foodie. She's got problems with food. She's got problems with drugs. She's got an addiction for attention that is off the charts. She might have a defiant disorder of some kind. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing her, but she may have issues that require learned professionals to diagnose and know what to do with. And there's nobody in her audience that could do that.
I don't find it does much for me. I have given it some, I mean, I have done a few sessions, and beyond getting worksheets and stuff like that, I just, for me, therapy, it's more therapeutic for me to talk online and almost like a diary kind of thing.
But it's not your diary. This is YouTube. This is not LiveJournal. This is not a diary. You're getting on a public platform and exposing all your business, and then you get mad because people have their opinions about what you say and what you do. It's ridiculous and it's messed up. This is your diary, but your diary is public. It's open to the public, and yet you get mad at the public for being involved when you are the one who involved them in the first place.
And I know it's not professional help and it doesn't replace professional help, but for me, that's just how I was choosing to cope with that particular situation in my life. I'm not using it. YouTube.
Foodie, it's been over 2 years. These constant live streams, it's been over 2 years. I've been watching you for a long time. I haven't seen any kind of improvement in 2 years. You trying to use YouTube as your therapy, I haven't seen you improve at all by using YouTube as your therapy. If anything, you've gotten worse. So apparently, that kind of therapy for you is bad. It's not leading to any kind of improvement. You are not trying to help yourself away from YouTube and the things that people say and the things that people do trying to help you in your chat haven't helped you. You've just been going further and further down the pipe, dear. There's no improvement at all. You're not saying, oh, I'm listening to you and I'm going to try different things and see if this works. So apparently YouTube is not good therapy for you. It's not helping.
As a way to replace proper psychiatry and stuff like that. I'm just saying that because I know people are going to bring that up. So, all right. That out of the way, I just wanted to say also thank you very much for those people who were supportive for me during that time. I really, really appreciate that. Just being there like unconditionally and non-judgmentally. I know it was a very emotional roller coaster for everybody, with a lot of back and forth. I don't feel like I should apologize for that because honestly,
But you should. You should. You triggered a lot of people. I read the comments on all your past live streams. And I got comments on my channel, mine, Foodie, from people saying that they were watching you and they got triggered in some way and they relapsed after going through the therapy, putting in the hard work, watching you triggered them in some way and they relapsed and they had to go back into therapy. That's how much you affect people. From your end, from behind your phone screen, you think, I don't affect people and it's not my problem. But yet there is a moral responsibility being a YouTuber, having a YouTube channel. When you put out content, no matter what it is, you have to think about not just the content that you do, but how it affects people. You have to have that moral code on the inside of, if I post this, how is it going to be received, but also how it's going to affect other people. You don't seem to have a moral code. You don't seem to have that, whatever it is that you call it, inside to know, maybe I shouldn't post this. Maybe it's going to be too hurtful. Maybe it's going to trigger people. You honestly don't give a shit. It's all about the dollar bill for you.
viewers don't have to be involved in like in a creator's life if they don't want to, right? So like everyone has their own personal responsibility as well to, like, this is my channel, so it's going to be pretty much very uncensored as much as I can get away with on YouTube from now on.
As much as you can get away with. She's broken every TOS there is multiple times. Coming on camera high against TOS. Coming on camera showing off parts of her body that really should only be reserved for OnlyFans. Another with the TOS. She's broken every rule that YouTube has. And yet YouTube gave her platform back. I can't think of anybody else that had a platform that had it taken away that got it given back. And I think one of the main reasons why YouTube gave her channel back is because of all the money that they make off of her and the reaction channels, and they don't want to mess up a good thing. YouTube is not an emotional company. They are a company that they're concerned with profit. So their viewpoint is, she's wrecking and ruining herself, and there's nothing we can do about that. So let's just make all the money we can off this chick and the reaction channels as much as we can before something happens to her.
Whatever I feel like opening up about that happens to me in my personal life, I will. And if you are somebody who's sensitive to trauma dumping or whatever you want to call it, then my channel is probably not going to be for you. I do want to do a lot more positive content, but my life is messy, and life is just not like that. Life is a lot of ups and downs, and I just want to really just document everything on my channel, and mostly probably a lot of bad, because like the bad times are what I really just need help through the most, like.
So how is the audience going to help you through those bad times if you've got issues that are way over their head? Explain that to me. If you've got problems with food, if you got a problem with attention, if you got a problem with drugs, what can the audience do to help you? People come through with the advice. You don't listen. You don't want help. You being a train wreck is far too profitable. That's why you continue to be a train wreck and you refuse to better yourself in any way. Here's the plain truth for you, Foodie. If you were just an ordinary person with an ordinary life, you didn't have issues with food, you weren't morbidly obese. If you were that person that you took a shower every day and washed your clothes and did adulting, if you took away the train wreck aspects of your life and you were just ordinary Jane in Idaho, nobody would watch because there's nothing else about you or your life that people could talk about. There's no hobbies, there's no interest, you're not traveling, you're not doing anything. The train wreck is all that you have to offer. Without that, you've got nothing else, and I think you know that. And you're not trying to find other things to bring on your channel. You're generally not interested.
I don't know. So anyway, I just feel like talking at you right now instead of with you. So that's the difference with the live stream and the videos. So I do want to do more vlogs as well in the future, but that will be another video. So regarding everything that happened, um, my feelings have changed so many times over the past few months with what to do, what I want to do. Um, and a lot of people are wondering if I'm lying about if the accusations are false. And
They are.
I don't really want to talk about like the details of what happened between us in these fights and stuff like that. But we had a very toxic, abusive relationship. And I'm going to say that it was abusive at times on both ends.
Right, she just admitted on both ends. Y'all hear that loud and clear? Hear that loud and clear. This is for everybody in the front, middle, and the back on both ends. Not just his, hers too. Remember that clip I just played for you? I told you. I'm pretty sure that the abuse was both ends. I don't know if they ever got physical. Nobody knows. Nobody was in the room with them when they were having their arguments and fights. But given Foodie's personality and the way she behaves, I believe that maybe something physical happened between her and Natter, or maybe she did something to him. That does not excuse anything he did to Foodie. I'm just saying. She's been trying to paint this picture for the longest of he's hurting me and he's hurt me and it's all him and he's the grifter. No, no, let's see the full picture for what it is. I think things have gone both ways, both, and yet she's trying to paint this picture on her channel like he's the bad guy. He did everything. I'm pretty sure that she had a hand in it. I'm not saying that he had a right to put his hands on her. Nobody has the right to put their hands on anybody else, no matter what the circumstance, whether it's a man to a woman or a woman to a man. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't put your hands on somebody for any reason. I'm just saying, we don't know what happened in that house during all those fights. Well, let's not excuse Foodie and count her out as not being abusive in some way, whether it be verbally or physically. Let's see the picture for what it is. He's a grifter, she's a grifter. He's an abusive person, so is she. And that way they're both equally matched.
And yeah, so I mean, I would say that technically some of the charges could be like valid, but I decided not to press charges because I decided to like basically just say like, I just wanted to like give another chance basically and just forgive and just like not like I don't think mentally I could handle it.
Let's all remember and never forget the circumstances behind her filing those charges. She didn't file the charges because she was deathly afraid of Natter. She did not file the charges at a time when he did something physical to her and she was in fear of her life. Let's all remember and never forget the circumstances. That for a while she was going insane because Dee Dee was with Natter and she was losing her mind because Dee Dee would not leave. Dee Dee would not go back home to Montreal. She was staying with Natter, and Chantal was losing her mind over that. Remember that live stream she did when she was at home and she was screaming at Natter through her phone and they were fighting with her back? That whole situation that should have been kind of private, but they both made sure to make it public. Yeah, I remember. She was angry then. She was in a rage. And she was so driven out of her mind with the fact that Dee Dee was there that she basically went to the cops. She played that card in her hand. She went to the cops because she didn't know any other way to get Dee Dee away from Natter. And she felt that by posing that threat to Natter, that he would get scared and send her home. And that Dee Dee would go home because she did not want anything to happen to Natter. That was her motivation of going allegedly to the cops. Not because she was afraid, not because she was someone who'd been through DV&SA and she wanted to get justice. She wanted to use the justice system in a spiteful, vengeful way to get back at him and also to get him and Dee Dee apart because she looks at Natter as her man. All the things she's done for him, all the things she's bought for him, she looks at him and says to herself, I own him now. She owns him. Once she does something for you, she owns you. And she didn't like the fact that she paid for Natter and somebody else had him. So she took steps. And I would also like to remind everybody of the Pause and Laws live stream that she did, where somebody asked her a question while she was sitting in Natter's bedroom. It was the live stream where she had a sheet wrapped around her and Natter was out of the room and she was speaking quietly. Somebody asked her the question, have you ever thought about Natter finding another sugar mama and basically ditching you? And she said to the camera, I think about it all the time. And then she said, I've got a plan. I'm not as stupid as you guys think. Trust. Something about an Aries. The moment that she said that, I knew exactly what she was going to do later. That if you ever try to get rid of her and ditch her, she was going to use the fact that he's been in trouble with the law before to bring him to heel. And we all saw what happened with her alleging those charges. So, yeah, you look at what she said before and then what happened after, and it all kind of lines up, doesn't it?
Anything legal and yeah, like I'm making this video because we don't like agree on certain things. He doesn't agree. He doesn't want to admit to anything. He doesn't want to talk about anything. So it makes it very hard. And in a way, that's fine. If it's something private, fine, whatever. But like for me, I know when I was going through shit, I had to share it. Some stuff I probably didn't have to. I was very personal about him sometimes, and like a lot of the name calling and everything. But like I was really, really on a lot of bad drugs this past summer, and just
Oh, but you said you quit, remember? You said, oh, I quit. I'm in recovery. You only did the drugs once, remember? And then you did the live stream, which you deleted, confessing that you had a $3,000 habit with cola, but you only did it once. You know, it doesn't even matter anymore if you're doing the cola or you did the cola. We've seen your excessive edible use, abusing the edibles. Those wheelchair edibles, by the way, Foodie, they're not meant for someone like you. They're meant for people who have terminal illnesses. It helps to manage their pain. So you're taking something you really shouldn't be taking. Those wheelchair edibles are not meant for ordinary civilian consumption. Yet you buy them because they're the highest dose you could get because you chased your tolerance up just that high. I know people that suffer with migraines. The most they'll take in a day is 30 milligrams in the morning and 30 milligrams at night. And that's from my friend Jim, who suffers from constant migraines. And he's a full grown man. And there you are taking 1,000 milligrams and eating a wheelchair like a Tic Tac. Too much. Way too much. You're still abusing drugs. You still are. You're at the point now where you can't sleep without edibles. That should tell you something.
Really? Like just psychotic. Like I was snapped. Like I just like watched some of my streams and I was just like not in a healthy place. So
You're still not.
um
You're still not.
yeah. And when you're in something, it's so hard. Like whenever like all of you, the only person who has a different view of Natter than anyone else is me. I remember thinking like not a single fucking person thinks that we should be together.
You shouldn't.
But not a single other person out there has feelings for Natter. Like has you know what I mean? Like you guys are like
The fact that you have claimed that he did DV and essay on you multiple times and you're still giving him money, you're still hanging out with him, makes me want to vomit. It makes me want to vomit. This person that you came on camera and you talked about saying all these awful things, and you are still around him. You're still giving him money. Just the other night, you went to go see him in Montreal after grifting money from people saying, I need money for a hotel for myself and the cats. You went to go see him. So all this stuff you say happened with you and Natter, and obviously you're not afraid to be around him. All the live streams you talked about, oh, he's got the black-eyed rage and he's abusive in every way, and you acted so scared of him that you needed a safe word. But yet I guess you're really not that scared because you actively go and you see him and you give him money. It makes me want to fucking vomit.
viewers with no emotional attachment. So if you don't have an emotional attachment, it's so much easier to dislike somebody. It's so much easier to see their flaws. It's so much easier to see them for what they are.
Foodie, seeing somebody's flaws. Girl, what? What? A flaw is somebody mismanaging their money. Somebody committing DV and SA, that is not a fucking flaw. That is something that they do that is abusive to another person. That is not a flaw. So I don't know what other flaws he might have. I don't live with the guy. I don't see the guy, but I'm sorry. DV and SA are not flaws. They are abusive behavior that other people should stay away from. They're not flaws. Jesus Christ. All the money that you have, go buy a clue.
So when you're in it, it's hard to see it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Going forward, yeah, like we still do talk. But like I've said many times, I don't know, like going forward, what's going on. This is just where I am right now with everything. So our case is dropped. And
There was never a case.
I'm not even going to entertain people thinking that I forged letters.
You did. You did forge letters.
I mean, you have to pick like who you want to profile me as. Am I a lazy person who would never take the time to write up an actual court document?
Foodie, I've been watching you for a while. Girl, when you put your mind to something, you'll get it done. I remember you driving 6 hours across the border to the United States just for fast food. Okay? And you will drive to Montreal. You'll drive 2 hours to Montreal to film videos for Natter and then spend an additional 2 hours editing those videos if he asks you to. You're lazy when you want to be lazy. You're lazy when you know you can get away with it. But when it comes to Natter, you will do anything for that man. You will drive him around to his appointments. You will go out of your way to buy his groceries. You will go out of your way to pay his rent. You will go out of your way to get motel rooms so the two of you can covertly spend time together. When it comes to Natter, you will do anything he asks you to do or whatever it is you think you need to do to spend time around him and be in his good graces. You're not all the way lazy. You're just lazy when it comes to improving your life, but you will do anything for Natter to improve his. So do I believe you faked that letter? Absolutely, 1000%. I saw the letter. It was phony. It was fake. There were so many things wrong with it. You printed up a quick letter just so the whole conversation of the charges would come to a close. You and Nader got tired of people bringing it up, and you wanted to make people shut up. But guess what? We ain't. We're still going to bring that up. You brought it to the table. It's on the table. You can't take your arm and swipe everything off the table. We're going to forever be bringing it up. Making this video did not make a difference. We're still going to put it in your face.
Or am I a conniving, calculating person who took the time to miraculously just happen to have a letter from the waiting for you to ask me about it in my drawer?
Yep, you did.
Do you know what I mean?
You
So
did.
anyway,
You did.
I'm used to this crap at this point. But I just want to say that that's pretty much all I want to talk. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like I just don't want to talk about any of the.
What she means is, I don't want all of you talking about it anymore. I don't want all of you bringing it up. I don't want to turn on my live stream and people keep bringing it up in my hug box. I want a true hug box. I want to be hugged. I want to be supported. And it irritates me when things get brought up that are my fault. She doesn't want the negativity. She doesn't want people bringing up stuff in her hug box, because that would mean those people who are just joining her on her channel, they're going to find out about it. She doesn't want anybody interfering in her ability to make money off of other people. And she thinks by making this video that's going to shut everybody up. Well, you failed, Foodie. We're not going to shut up over here.
The legal aspect of it, because it's just too messy. It's just too much. It's too much stress. There's just too much fodder for like haters to twist what I say, as they already have anyways.
How are we twisting it? How are we twisting it? We react to your content, Foodie. We put your videos and your live streams on and we react to them. And everybody that watches a react video can see you saying and you doing things. And all we're doing is giving our commentary. We're not, by doing that, how are we twisting anything? We're not. We're just showing the footage in its raw form as it is and letting people make up their mind and what they want to think and what they want to do. There's no twisting here. We're not just getting on our channels and giving our opinions without proof. We're showing the proof. And I'm sure you hate that too. Too bad.
Me saying technically about the SA charges turned into me completely admitting to lying about it.
You said you exaggerated. I'm sorry. I find that highly offensive. If you've been through DV and SA, you don't exaggerate shit. If you've been through it, all you need is the truth of what you've been through. You don't need to exaggerate anything. Which?
It's one of those situations that is not really black and white. It's not a yes or no. And if I could explain it, you would understand, but I can't. So I guess you'll have to think I'm a liar then. I don't know what to say. But
how about the truth?
I don't give a fuck what people think. I really don't.
You must care. Because as soon as you posted this video, you deleted it. If you didn't care, why not leave the video up? Why'd you take it down? Is it because so many people were roasting you in the comments and you couldn't take it? For someone who's been on YouTube for at least 3 or 4 years, you still don't have a thick skin. You're a walking oxymoron. On one side of the fence, you're saying, I don't care what people think, blah, blah, blah. But then you prove you got a very thin skin and you can't take criticism. You can't take other people's opinions. You can't take people calling you on your bullshit. You got to pick a lane, Foodie. Either you do care or you don't care. If you don't care, then let the people say what they want to say. Make your videos, make your live streams and leave them up, or prove that you're lying when you say that you don't care by deleting everything and deleting comments, which you have been doing.
No. This is something I dealt with, and only I and he knows really exactly what happened. And it's going to stay that way. So I just wanted to clear some of those things up. I'm not a liar.
You are.
Anytime I've come on here and anytime we've had a fight, anything that's happened, I would come on right away and talk about it. So I didn't lie about any of those events.
You did.
Um,
You exaggerated,
yeah,
remember?
the timing and the motive for going to the police, though, I I was on the fence a long time about it. Um, and then that day I saw that I thought he was going to the police station, and then I just felt over.
Yeah, he was going to police station allegedly to get a protective order because she just would not stop. So she decided to fire a counter strike by getting there first. And a lot of people in her chat were gassing her up and putting the battery in the back and saying, "You need to go down there, Foodie." So she went down there first. And her attitude was like, "Oh, yeah, you're going to file a protective order to where I can't talk to you and I can't have any contact with you. Let me just beat you to the punch." And that's exactly what she did.
Overwhelmed. Like, if I'm honest, I felt like a mixture of emotions, like between wanting to do, like feeling like the pressure of wanting to do the right thing, and then also being super jealous. I'm not gonna lie and say that wasn't any motivator at all because, yeah, Dee Dee being there fucked me up bad.
Yep.
Yeah, it did. Um,
So when a person does something, it's not just as something you have to look at. You have to look at the motivation, the intention of what they do. And her motivation and her intention was not going to the police station because she's been hurt or traumatized in some way and she wants justice for that. The intention, the motivation wasn't about getting justice for a wrong. Her motivation was selfish and self serving. Her motivation was jealousy and envy and being vindictive, and her lashing out for those reasons had nothing to do with anything physically that he did to her. Had everything to do with the fact that she did not want Dee Dee there, that she had been waiting for Dee Dee to go home, and Dee Dee just kept staying there for days and days, and it was literally driving her mad. The fact that she couldn't just drive over to his house whenever she wanted, that by Dee Dee being there, she could not be there, and she was like an addict that was denied their drug of choice and fiending for it for days and days and days and just reaching a point of insanity with it that she just snapped and decided, you know what, I want my natter fix and I will do whatever it is I need to do to get it. So I need to get the obstacle, which is Dee Dee, out of the way.
so I'm not coming on here to like try to make Natter look worse. I'm not coming on here to try to make myself look better. Like, yeah, I'll openly admit, like I was, jealousy wasn't I wasn't like jealous of her being there, so that's not why
You
the sole
were,
reason I went to the police station.
you were,
And
you were.
but all of that, like everything I was there for a long time, talked to the detective about everything. And I don't want to talk about all that. I just want to put it in the past and behind me. So I'm just gonna, I guess, continue to ignore comments for now. I think that's the price you have to pay with putting your shit out there online is,
Mm-hmm.
you have to deal with it being there forever and ever and ever. And that's just how the fuck it is right now. So, yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. I don't want to edit this. I'm too lazy. But you know that already. Yeah, I really don't. I don't want to edit. And I just don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, I'm tired of it. I want it
Then shut up.
gone in the past and just move on. I'm talking to somebody. And not just that, like, I'm just working on myself too, more, or trying to.
Liar.
Every day is a struggle. Every day is a struggle. So, Anyways, guys, I just wanted to clear that up about the charges. I know I probably sounded defensive at some points. I guess I am a little bit.
She's angry because she's been lying the way that she's been lying, and she's angry because she can't flip the script. And after telling all those lies for as long as she did, that people just won't simply believe her. Foodie, your word is worth nothing. Your empty promises are worth nothing. As a person, if you lie the way that you've been lying, you can get to a point where people just, they don't put any faith in what you say. They don't put any faith in your words. They don't believe you. Your word has no value. If you want that value back, you have to show that you are changed, that your attitude has changed, your lifestyle has changed, that you're taking a different path, and you're at the point where you care about yourself and you care about the way that people see you. And you've got to come online and say, you know what, guys, I have been an absolute shit these past few years. I've been an entitled shit. I've been spoiled. I have been rude. I have been out of pocket with all of you. And I know that you don't look at me very well right now, but let me work harder to show you that I'm a different person. I don't see that in you right now. Nobody sees that in you right now. You put yourself in the position that you're in where people look at you as a liar and they don't believe you. They don't put any faith in your words. When you get to that point where you are bankrupt, absolutely bankrupt in the way people see you and the way people hear you, then you have a long climb back up the ladder to get that to that point where people believe you again. You got a lot of work to do, a lot of hard work. And the big question is, are you going to do it or not? Because if you don't want to do it, you can stay exactly where you are and everybody will go on not believing you and looking at you as a liar. But you put yourself in that position where nobody believes you. You're the only one that can change that.
Just being attacked over and over for like just lying about serious things like that when you don't know the whole picture. Um, it's just annoying. So that's my statement on it. Um, and that's all. I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna open it up. It's staying in the vault between Nader and I, and whatever the case was, and that's it. So I'm moving on. We've both talked about it at the hotel. We both decided to forgive and move on. And yeah, try not to have a repeat of the last year. So I'm sure the train wreck was exhausting, maddening, and probably for some entertaining. Um, for me, well, I don't know. it's it's changed me. Some ways good, some ways bad.
It's
So
all bad. I haven't seen any good changes
just
in
the
you.
early morning reflection. I can't sleep, and I was just thinking about that. Maybe what I should tell people. You know,
You know what, Foodie? If you were a different person, you wouldn't have to think of things to tell people. You could just turn on the camera and tell people the truth, and that's all you need. If you felt a real sense of remorse and regret, all you would need is to turn on the camera and just be honest, and that's all you would have to come with. And everybody would see that you've changed and you're speaking from the heart. But if you have to think about what you have to say, you haven't changed a bit.
but yeah, part of me. Obviously, I don't want people to think that I'm like a horrible person. I don't think anybody wants people to think that. So I just don't want people to think that I'm like the type of person that would like just make up shit just because
You
I'm
do,
like
though.
angry. Like I
You do,
no,
though.
I've never done that.
You have done that.
I would never do that.
You would.
Like something that serious.
Yeah, you would.
So basically, I guess everything I've told you as true is true. Um,
No, it ain't.
some of the charges are, like I said, I can't talk about it, but I, yeah, I mean, like I said, anytime it would just be like instinctive, not instinctive, but just like impulsive. Anytime we would like something would happen and I'd be super emotional, I would just come online and talk about it. And that's like I said, I pretty much just used it as a community of like support. So
Yeah, you want to get compensated for all the drama. And fuck all the way off for doing that. For all the people that you've hurt, for all the people you've triggered. Fuck all the way off with that.
anyways, I think we can all agree it's fucked up and we are in need of a new arc. I just really want everyone to be like healthy and safe and happy and all that good shit. Whatever you say. And I just don't want any drama anymore.
Then stop bringing it to your channel, stupid. You're the one that brings it to your channel. That's all your content is. You don't want drama anymore. Find something else to make money off of besides triggering shit. And yes, I'm getting mad over here. I'm so mad at this video, like the lies that she's telling and the fact that she's using deviant essay one more time to make money. I am triggered as fuck right now. I am angry. I got a reason to be because I'm somebody who's been through deviant essay and I know it's not about me, but I'm thinking about other people who have been through it. And this person, Foodie Beauty, who gets online and she insists on talking about this stuff again when she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to. She's got a choice. She can bring other things onto her channel. And every time she makes a video or a live stream, she opens up more wounds in people. And she doesn't care. All she cares about are her super chats. She cares about her memberships. She cares about her Google AdSense money. She cares about having money for herself and Natter and her nasty habits. It's disgusting. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bit extra mad in this video, but y'all can understand why.
And I really want to freaking go to bed. So I'm gonna go to bed now.
Yeah, go to bed and stay there. Anyway, so that's it for this React video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like it, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you once again to EERIE Pepperoni for posting this so I could react to it because Foodie's little dirty deleting self got rid of it off her channel so I couldn't react to it there. And I wanted to include the comments beneath the video because people were giving it to her. Anyway, hope you all have enjoyed and thank you very much for watching. Please have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.